Let's see the third problem in this session, everybody. So the sequences that we are considering for obtaining the convolution sum are these. This is third problem that we're looking at. Fine, and that problem is x of n is equal to 2 power n. Mind you, this is 2 u of minus n, and h of n is given to be u of n. Obtain the convolution sum. Fine. So these two are the sequences given. Now, compare this sequence with the previous two sequences. Let me just write the previous two sequences that we had taken. In problem number 1, we had taken u of n and u of n minus 3. Fine. In the second problem, we had taken alpha power n, u of n and u of n. Here, we are taking a signal which is left-sided. Here, all the signals were right-sided signals. See here, u of n goes from 0 to infinity. U of n minus 3 goes from 3 to infinity. Whereas these two signals in the second problem goes from 0 to infinity. So they're all right-sided sequences. We can call them as right-sided sequences. The causal sequences we can call them as. Because they are 0 for n less than 0. But here, for the first time, we have a signal, okay, which is left-sided, non-causal. So left-sided signals are also called as non-causal sequences because they appear on the left-hand side of the y-axis. Understand? So here, the overlapping range, if you have to see, okay, so that would differ a bit. So if we just sketch these signals after we substitute in the convolution sum equation, you will get an idea. So first, let's go and write the equation for convolution sum. That is y of n, and it's given by what? X of n convolution sum h of n. Fine. And the equation for convolution sum is k, summation k ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of k, h of n minus k. So if they give x of n and h of n, you'll write like this. Otherwise, if it is x1 of n, x2 of n, you just change it accordingly. That's it. Okay, but see how they are naming the signal. Fine. Now, if this is x of n, what would be x of k is what we need to make out. If this is h of n, okay, how can we write it as h of n minus k is what we need to do. Okay, so therefore, we can have our y of n equal to summation k ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity. So with respect to k, we need to write x of n should become x of k. So it would be 2 power k u of minus k. Understand? And now we have h of n minus k. So that is h of n is u of n. So it would be u of n minus k. Remember, in both these signals, since they are into the summation where k is ranging from minus infinity to infinity, so this needs to be plotted against k, not against n. Okay, so x-axis is k here. So u of n minus k is something that we all have understood. So this is moving signal, mind you. U of n minus k is moving signal. So we have to write that as our second signal. And this together is stationary signal. We have to write the stationary signal first, the one which is not moving. Which would move? The signal which has both n and k would move. The signal which only has k is stationary. So we need to sketch the stationary signal first and then go for the moving signal below that. Fine. Now, can you tell me the range of this? Or what is 2 power k? Everybody just understand here. 2 power k is growing exponential. Everybody understand this? Growing exponential. 2 power k is going exponential. And what is u of minus k telling? And u of minus k indicates that 2 power k ranges from minus infinity to 0. So what is growing exponential? How does the growing exponential looks like? Everybody see here. You can sketch it later. Growing exponential looks like what? Is the question. Okay, this is 0. Growing exponential means it should go like this. This is growing exponential. Okay, so this we need to write in discrete time. Okay, and this growing exponential should only extend from minus infinity to 0. Here you should not from 0 towards plus infinity should not have any what signals. Only on the left hand side you should have, because u of minus k is what is there. Understand? So I've written continuous time, just make it discrete time. Everybody understand that? So this is k. What I'm writing is 2 power k u of minus k is what I'm writing. Fine. So 2 power 0 is 1. 2 power 0 is 1. 2 power minus 1, because we have to plot it from minus infinity to 0, mind you. So 2 power minus 1, right? 2 power minus 1 is half. 2 power minus 1 is half. 2 power minus 2 is 0.25. Similarly, 2 power minus 3 is 0.125, and it just keeps on happening. So this is what is the signal. Everybody understand that? So keep this as your reference. Keep this as your reference, okay? And this should come as your first signal. So this is rough work that you will do somewhere on the last page in your examination, or do it somewhere on the right hand side here. Fine. So let me keep this for your reference. I'll keep this somewhere here. Okay, this is for your reference. Fine. Now, let's just bring this signal here. Bring this particular signal here. Fine, so that we shall sketch, and then below that we shall sketch the moving signal. Is that okay with you? So I've been doing this now. So what we need to sketch is this. So first I need to have 2 power k u of minus k. Fine. So this is what is this signal, as I've explained you. These values are not very important. Let me tell you. Okay. At 0 we have 1, and from there on it goes on decreasing for negative case is what we can understand. So this is the signal. Then along with this, I need to have u of n minus k. What is u of n minus k? Anybody? What is u of n minus k? U of n minus k is here. U of n minus k is shifting u of minus k to the right by n units. Okay, so remember, u of minus k goes from where to where? It goes from minus infinity to 0, u of minus k. And the signal which is ranging from minus infinity to 0, let me write that. See here, this is u of minus k. What I'm writing is u of minus k. Okay, so goes from minus infinity to 0. Now, if you just shift this towards right by n positions, so this will come and stand somewhere here at position n. So this is what is u of n minus k. U of n minus k is shifting u of minus k to the right by n positions. So this is how the signal would look like now. Fine. So therefore, now there are two cases. Now, do you have the no overlap case here? Anybody, can you just tell me, is there a no overlap case? There are no people handshaking at all. Is that happening? See, these are the people. Now, earlier, these people used to stand in this fashion. He used to be the first person, and all these players used to be standing on this position. Okay, and these players used to come from the dugout. Even now, these players are coming from the dugout in this direction only. Okay, but what's happening? What was it like in the previous problem? Let me just go to the previous problem. See here, in this the players were standing like this, and these players were coming from dugout in this fashion. So this person, to meet this person, should come and stand at 0. Till this n is 0, there are no players handshaking. That means overlapping is not happening. Till this n comes and stands at 0, okay, there is no overlapping happening. That means there are no players handshaking. For the first player to handshake with the first player here, this n should assume the value 0. So that is when it will come and stand at 0. Then these two players will handshake. When this n is less than 0, so when n is somewhere here, these two people will not handshake. When n is less than 0, when he is not meeting this person standing at 0, these people will not handshake. Get that point, everybody? Okay, so there was no handshaking case here. But here what's happening? Here what's happening? So these people are coming from here. Okay, so there is already overlapping happening, because this is also minus infinity to 0. This is minus infinity to 0. And this is minus infinity to n. Okay, now let me tell you the two cases. Every time you have infinite sequences, you only have two cases. The first case is when n is less than 0. So that means this n is somewhere here. It has not come beyond 0, or it is not even at 0. It is somewhere here. So that means, let me write that somewhere here. Okay, see here, this is the signal you have. Or no, this is not the signal. Let me write the stationary signal. So this is the stationary signal. This is the stationary signal. Okay, and this is the moving signal, mind you. This is the moving signal. And see here, this is 0, and this is n. Understand? So let me write this in solid line. So the one in solid line is moving signal, and n is less than 0, and one in this dotted line is the stationary signal. Understand? Now, do you think the overlapping is there? If yes, where is the overlap? The range of overlap? Anybody? Where is the range of overlap? I'm telling you, overlapping is there. So from where to where it will overlap? So this is coming from, this signal is coming from minus infinity to n. And this signal is from minus infinity to 0. So there is overlap. Can you tell me the overlapping range? See, All this is overlapping range. This is all overlapping because the signal is here. Somewhere it will be converging, okay? But overlapping is till this point. Understand? So it is minus infinity to n is the overlap happening. Understand that? So we can say when n is equal to 0, overlapping is there. Overlapping is happening. Overlapping is happening. Okay. So what is the range of overlap? Therefore, range of overlap is minus infinity to n. Okay. So therefore, equation 1 implies what? Here, this is the equation 1. This implies what? This is 1, this is 1, this is 2 power k. So what we change is, we just change the limits of summation from minus infinity to 0. Understand? Therefore, y of n, equation 1 implies that y of n would be summation k ranging from minus infinity to n. Okay, 2 power k is what we have. Everybody should see this. 2 power k is what we have here. Then what is u of minus k? U of minus k is all ones, and u of n minus k is also all ones. So there, those two signals would be substituted as 1. So this is how equation 1 would turn out to be for the case when n is less than 0. Is it okay with you? Now, see here, I want this signal to go from 0 to infinity. Wherever we come across infinity, I want that summation to go from 0 to infinity, but it is going from minus infinity to n. No, I don't want that. Okay, so what can I do? What can I do to rearrange this summation in such a way that, okay, this summation limits goes from 0 to infinity. Okay, so let's do that. Now, if we interchange the limits of summation, it is not going to do any change, is what we have understood. So it is k is equal to n to minus infinity. K is equal to n to minus infinity, 2 power k. Right? So now this minus infinity needs to be got rid of. I don't want that minus infinity also. You should always remember the standard summation. There are two standard summations. One standard summation is, see, what happens if k ranges from 0 to infinity and you have a power n here. So it is 1 by 1 minus a when a is less than 0. Sorry, less than 1. Fine. The second summation that we need to understand is this. K ranging from 0 to n. Okay. Sorry, this is a power k. Fine. And you have a power k here. Then it is 1 minus a power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus a if a is not equal to 1. Okay. And the same summation would become what? A power n plus 1. Right? A power, sorry, it's not a power n plus 1. So it is n plus 1 if a is equal to 1. So these two equations you need to remember. Fine. So these two, you can just rearrange this in such a way that it will go from 0 to infinity. If not from 0 to infinity, at least try to get this from 0 to n. But once you have minus infinity or infinity, this is not possible. Second form is not possible. So you need to somehow bring this to the first form only, first form of standard summation. So you have to remember this standard summation. Okay. Now, if I have to get rid of this negative sign is not there in standard summation. So if I have to get rid of this standard summation, which is minus infinity, then let's say this. Okay. What is that? Substitute k equal to, let's say, minus n. If I substitute k equal to minus n, what would happen? It would look like what? Y of n equal to summation. Now, so what would happen? K is equal to minus n means, so this would be minus n, or let's take it as m. Let's take it as m. N is already there. Let's take it as m, minus m. So k is minus m, n to minus infinity. Okay, and k is minus m, right? So this would become minus m. Fine. So when k is equal to minus m, this minus infinity should become plus infinity. So k is going from n to minus infinity, right? So now this k I'll substitute as minus m, or let's say let's just substitute just k as what? Minus m. Let's keep it as it is. Fine. Now this can be made to look like, see here. Therefore, this is m equal to minus n to infinity. Okay, half power m. Is this understood, everybody? This is slight arrangement of this summation so that I can get this form of summation 0 to infinity. I'm able to remove that minus. How did I remove that minus? I substitute k as minus m. Since this k is minus m, okay, this k would also become minus m. Okay. Now, if this k is minus, instead of saying this, I can say m ranges from minus n to infinity. Instead of I saying minus m goes from n to minus infinity, I can say m goes from minus n to infinity. And since this is 2 to the power minus m, 2 to the power minus m can be always written as 1 by 2 to the power m. So these are the things one should remember. Fine. Now let's take this, because I need 0, right? So what I'll do is I'll do this. What have I done? Can you understand here? See, this m equal to minus n was there, right? So this m equal to minus n, what did I do? I just brought this minus n onto the left and made this equal to 0. Since this is infinity, this is always infinity. Whether you add plus n to this or minus n, you subtract minus n from this, this will be infinity only. So this upper limit will not change. What have I done here? I have added plus n on both the sides. M plus n is equal to minus n plus n I have done. So it is 0. So it's as good as doing infinity plus m or infinity plus n. So this would still be infinity only. So this is what I've been able to do. Fine. So now what I'll do, substitute. So the m plus n is there, right? I don't want two variables to be there. So what I'll do is substitute m plus n as L, let's say, another what? Variable. So therefore, if m plus n is equal to L, it implies that m is what? L minus n. M is L minus n. So therefore, y of n looks like what? Y of n looks like summation m plus n we are substituting as L. So it is L ranging from 0 to infinity. And this would be half to the power. Okay, m is L minus n. See here, m is L minus n. So it would become L minus N. Fine. Now, since L is going from 0 to infinity, half power minus N has got nothing to do within the summation. Half power minus N has got nothing to do within the summation. Okay. So what I'll do is let me just split this into two. So this is L ranging from 0 to infinity, half power L, and 2 power N it would look like. Why? It will be half power minus N. Half power minus N is 2 power plus N. Understand? So this can be written as what? 2 power N has got nothing to do there within the summation. So we take that out. Okay. And it now goes from 0 to infinity. Okay. Half power L. And this is in the standard form. We know that summation k ranging from 0 to infinity, a power k is actually 1 by 1 minus a for a less than 1. And that's happening here. So that's happening with this particular summation. Okay. So therefore, y of n would become 2 power n is there always outside. So this would become what? Half is less than 1. So it would look like 1 by 1 minus half. Fine. So it would be 2 power n into 1 by half. Fine. So therefore y of n would be 2 into 2 power n, or y of n is 2 power n plus 1 for n less than 0. So this is what we get if we solve the summation. Okay. So here, very important thing that we need to know or work out and practice is how to deal with the summations. How to deal with these summations so that we can bring these summations to these standard form. Soon after you find infinity in a summation, see that somehow you have to make it go from 0 to infinity. Okay, and that is what is the exercise we have done. Just see this once. Okay, do it yourself once. You will understand what it is going to be. Fine. So this is case number 1. This is case number 1 when n is less than 0. Okay, when n is less than 0, overlapping is happening. Okay, and the overlapping range is minus infinity to n. Now, if you have n greater than 0 now, case number 2, n greater than or equal to 0. Can you work out it yourself and can you tell me what happens? Second case, case 2. Case 2, when n is greater than or equal to 0. So what's happening here? Here, this is, let me take a different color. So let's say this is, let's not go here at all. Let's draw it somewhere here. So this is your what? Stationary signal. Fine. This is moving signal, and this moving signal I'm telling will go beyond 0 because n is what? Greater than or equal to 0. Understand? Can you tell me the overlapping range now? So this is from minus infinity to n, and the red signal is from minus infinity to 0. Can you tell me the region of overlap? Overlapping is there, is what is visible. Okay, see here, when it was n less than 0, the overlapping range was minus infinity to n. Okay, so similarly, can you tell here what is the overlapping range?
Is infinity to 0. Minus infinity to 0.
Minus infinity to 0. Very good. Because n is beyond 0 and this is in this region there is no overlap. From 0 to n there is no overlap. If overlapping is happening, it is happening from minus infinity to 0. Understand that? So the overlapping range is only here. See? This is the overlapping range. Understand that? So let's say that now. When n is greater than or equal to 0, overlapping range is minus infinity to 0. So therefore, equation number 1 would happen to be y of n, okay, and the summation k will go from minus infinity to 0. And you have 2 power k, and you have u of what? Minus n, that is also 1, and u of n minus q have that also is 1. So this is how equation 1 would look like. Again, you need to bring it to the standard form. It has to go from 0 to infinity. How can I make it go from 0 to infinity? Is this. See here? Just interchange the limits of summation. So it goes from 0 to minus infinity, not a problem if you interchange. So it is 2 power k. Now, if I have to get rid of this minus infinity, what I'll do is this. Substitute k is equal to minus m. So if you substitute k is equal to minus m, okay, y of n would look like this. What? K or this. M is equal to 0 to infinity. M is equal to 0 to infinity. 2 power minus m. Okay. So because I'm substituting k as minus m, right? So this would be m and this would be minus 0 and this would be minus of minus infinity. Minus 0 is 0, minus of minus infinity is infinity. So this is how the things look like. Now, what I can say, this is m equal to 0 to infinity. So half power m. Now this is very easily in its standard form. Which standard form? 0 to infinity is the easiest. Okay, since summation k ranging from 0 to infinity, a power k is 1 by 1 minus a for a less than 0. See, this a is less than 0. And this variable is just, here it is m, here it is k, that's it. So nothing much there. So therefore y of n is what? 1 by 1 minus half, and that is 1 by half. Okay, therefore what we can say is y of n is 2 for n greater than or equal to 0. There are just two cases. Okay, and both the cases were overlapping cases. In this particular example that we have taken, there is no case wherein there is no overlapping. Understand? Therefore, let's summarize the result that we have got. Result summary. Y of n is 2 power n plus 1 for n less than 0, and it is 2 for n greater than or equal to 0. So this is what is the convolution sum. Fine. So this is how we do the problem. Copy down this particular problem, the fourth one, wherein the convolution sum we need to find out, and they have given us this. Evaluate the discrete time convolution discrete time convolution sum given below. That is y of n equal to half power n u of n minus 2 rather. Convolution sum u of n. So they have directly given us the convolution sum format. Okay, so in the solution, what we can do is this. We should directly write the equation for this. We know that y of n, okay, is given by what? K ranging from minus infinity to infinity. Fine. X of k into h of n minus k. Fine. So let x of n equal to half power n u of n minus 2 and h of n equal to u of n. Fine, you can directly just substitute that, not at all a problem. Fine. Therefore, y of n would be now equal to, okay, k ranging from minus infinity to infinity. X of k would look like half power k u of k minus 2 into u of n minus k. See, this u of n minus k is something that we have been having as the moving signal. Okay. Whereas this also we can make as the moving signal if you interchange these two. We can make this as your moving signal, not that we cannot, because convolution sum is commutative. Possible, you can do that. Fine. Now, which is stationary? This is stationary signal. This is stationary. And this is moving. Now you have to identify moving signal u of n minus k is something that we all understand. Now, what is this signal now? What is this signal? See here, it's alpha power k if it is 1 by 2, right? If this is less than 1, say a power n, we know that a power n is decaying exponential if a is greater than 0, less than 1, and that is happening. This is greater than 0, less than 1, so this is what? Decaying exponential. It decays, this ranges from where to where? U of k minus 2 tells that half power k ranges from, can you tell me what is u of k minus 2 range? Anybody? So if you understand what is u of k minus 2 range, then you will understand where this would range from, where to where this ranges from. Yeah, anybody?
2 to infinity.
2 to infinity. Good. That's 2 to infinity. Fine. So we need to now sketch this half power k from 2 to infinity. Understand that? So this is just for your reference. This is for your reference. Okay. So you can have that, or you need not. You can write that if you want, or you need not have to write. If you just understand the signal, you can straight away plot. Not at all a problem. Fine. Keep this for your reference. Fine. So let's sketch that. So we have to go from 2 to infinity is what is told here. Fine. So let's move from 0, 1. Yeah. From 2 onwards, what is half power k? So this is k, mind you, this is k. From 2 onwards, what is half power k? That means, what is half power 2? Half power 2 is 1 by 4. Everybody understand that? Half power 2 is 1 by 4. Then half power 3 is 1 by 8. Half power 4 is 1 by 16. Yes. So this is what is happening here. So you'll still have a smaller sample to go with. So these values are not very important. That we can easily take care of in the summation. But this is the decaying signal. This is decaying signal. Okay, and moves and the range is 2 to infinity. Understand? So this is what we have plotted is half power k u of k minus 2 is what we have plotted. Along with this, what I need? Along with this, I need u of n minus k, which we all know it ranges from minus infinity to n. U of minus k. So here this is u of minus k. Okay, so this ranges from minus infinity to n. I don't know what n is, mind you. This is k. Now, is there a no overlapping case? If yes, can you tell me which case is that? No overlapping case. Which case is that? When there are signals, when the two signals are not overlapping. Can you tell me that? When the two signals are not overlapping.
N is less
when n is less than 2. Very good. So that's no overlapping case. I'll just write that for you. When case 1, when n is less than 2, okay, it is no overlapping. Okay, no overlapping. So no overlapping, this equation 1 directly implies that it is 0 for n less than 2. So this is case number 1 where there is no overlapping. Fine. So what is case number 2 now? Case number 2, everybody. Case 2, when n is greater than or equal to 2. That means when this n is greater than or equal to 2, what is the range? Anybody? What is the range of overlap? So this is one signal. This is one signal. So which is starting from 2 and goes to infinity. Fine. This is another signal which goes from minus infinity to n. So this is minus infinity
minus 2.
n, and this is 2 to infinity. So where is the range of overlap?
2 to
N
n.
minus 2.
2 to n is the overlapping range. See here? This is where the overlapping is. Fine. So that needs to be told now. Okay. So therefore, the overlapping range is from n greater than or equal to 2. Overlapping is there. Okay. Overlapping range is what? Is from 2 to This needs to be understood. Okay, if it moves, if this n comes and stands at 2, the first this person handshakes with this, and when this n is greater than 2, more players will be handshaking with more players here. So just that. Okay, so the convolution sum looks like what? Therefore equation 1 becomes y of n equal to summation k ranging from 2 to n. 2 to n. Now, what is that? Half power k is there, right? Half power k is there. And u of k minus 2 and u of n minus 3. These two are 1, 1. So this needs to be dealt with again. So which is the standard form? Infinity is not there now. If infinity is not there, which standard form we need to be looking at? Okay, so this is the standard form one should look at. We know that k ranging from 0 to n is 1 minus a to the power, sorry, let me write this first. What is that? A power k. K is 1 minus a power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus a if a is not equal to 1. So a is not equal to 1. Understand? So this is the form we need to bring it in. How to make that? Everybody just see how to make that. Therefore, y of n needs to be made like this. So let's take this 2 onto the left hand side so that I can make it 0. So when I make this minus 2, what would this n become? Anybody? If lower limit I make as k minus 2, what would this n be?
n minus 2.
N minus 2. Very good. So this is n minus 2. So earlier in earlier problem we didn't do that. Why? Because it was infinity. It was infinity and we were not bothered to do anything on infinity, because anything you do there, it would still be infinity only. But when it is n, you need to be careful. When it is n, you need to be careful. Understand? So it's half power k. Fine. Now substitute k minus 2 as m. So this implies that k is m plus 2. Understand? Therefore, y of n would be, anybody? So this is m ranging from 0 to n minus 2. Okay. Half power m plus 2. So half square would come out. So it would be 1 by 4 times m equal to 0 to n minus 2 half power m. So which is the standard summation? So since summation k ranging from 0 to n, a power k is 1 minus a power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus a. Okay, y of n is actually what? 1 minus, anybody? 1 by 4 is there outside. Anybody can you tell me now? 1 by 4 into what would this be? If it is n, it is n plus 1. It is, if it is n minus 2, it is n minus 2 plus 1. 1 minus, okay, half power n minus 2 plus 1. So it would be n minus 1 divided by 1 minus half. Get that point? So if you work, okay, so that would become, so this would become half minus half power n. Okay, everybody just see this. So therefore y of n would become, do this, it would be half minus half power n for n greater than or equal to 2. Just need to summarize this. Understand that? Just need to summarize this. Let's just summarize it this way. Okay, summary. So we need to write this at the end. Fine. What is that? Is y of n is 0 for n less than 2, and it is half minus half power n for n greater than or equal to 2. This is one way of writing it, or the same output can be expressed as half minus half power n, okay, into u of n minus 2. Why we can do this? U of n minus 2. Because u of n minus 2 is 1 from 2 to infinity, right? So that is why we can do this also. This is how we can summarize the output.